All right. Okay, thanks for staying with me through that break. I'm going to pick up where we left off. I need to clean up some of my dequeuing logic. So if I take a look in here, I now should only have a couple of functions on the back end for, come on. Just a second while I correct this. It's a nightmare sometimes with this stupid app. Try it again. I hate Node.js. I mean, I don't really, but it's just, I find it unstable. Now I'm going to get a bunch of hate for that. Nope. Nope. Halfway worked. Now it's working. Okay. That was exciting. So when I look at the back end here, I have only a couple of functions now. For returning things. I have something here called request play, which I'm passing a song state request. So I'm going to modify this a little bit here. So this is going to be request play from server. And I'm going to change this song state request to be called a. I'm going to move this over here for a second so I can look at my interfaces. And I'm going to have a song play request. Which is here. And this is only going to have the song ID, the song queued ID. I'm not even going to change the name of this to be a I'm calling this, what did I call it? Receive play on server or something like that? Receive play from server. And we're going to call that a play from server received. And I'm going to call that now my interfaces. This is going to be I play request from server, which is going to have the song ID, a song, an application name, a username, a player state, and a current time. Okay. We're also going to have a song state request, which is a I server state request. And then I want to have a iServer state response. And we're going to call this iPlay response. Play from server response is what I'm going to call it. Okay, that looks good. So now in here, I'm going to change this thing to be called a it's called a play from server response. We have a server state request in here. Which is a server state request, which we're only going to have on here a connection ID. And then I'm going to need to have a response called a play from server response, which needs to have on it the current time, the player state, the connection ID doesn't exist, the song, as a song DTO, the application user, and if we have one, a song queued DTO called song queued and await. And we'll also say that that's a base response. Or is it just called a response? Okay. I don't care about this actually. Let me take that away. Okay. So now, over here, when you're requesting a song state, you need to pass in a room ID here and get your room channels. And then for every one of the channels, iterate through it and send this request song state to the connection ID. And we're going to say this is a new song state request, which has a connection ID It's called a server state request. Okay, so over here on this code, on my TypeScript, where I have my room hub, we have a play from server received, a server state request received, a server state response received, and that looks right. So I'll make a new object in here called an iServer state response, which needs to have on it a state, which I'm going to say is a public enumerator called server state type. And in this, I want it to be a we'll just do it like this, and I'll have it as a server state type is a number. And then I want to have a song current is a I play from server response. Okay. So over here now we can say a server state response. Which needs to have on it a, what I'm calling a numerator in here. Called public enum server state type. And you can have one for paused, for playing, we'll say stopped, and playing. That's good. So we need to have a server state type called a server state type, and then a song current, which is a play from server response, which is a song current. We're going to change this thing to be called request server state. And over here in my room where I have my request song state, this needs to be request server state. This is an I server state request. This is a I server state response and a I play from server response. Server state request received. And this is a request called a I server state request, called a request. This is a receive server state. And then over here we have a receive server state. And this is a server state response. Which is called a response. And this is a I server state response, which is a server state response received. This one is no longer a iSong play, it's a iSong I play from server response. And this is a play from server response, passing the response. Good. So now this is a send song state. So this is an I song state, I server state request called a server state, and it's called send server state. This one here is called request server state, which is request server state, and the room ID, which we can see matches here in the back end. This is my send server state, which needs to invoke receive server state on my hub. Those mechanical keyboards sound good. I appreciate that. And this is going to be a server state that we pass in. And this is an I server state response, which is a response. You have a request play from server, which is a play from server response. So this is going to invoke request play from server, and you want to pass over a iSong play like that. And this is going to be called a response. Request play from server looks good. You have a DQ next song, which looks good. This is a so you have a get server state request, which is a server state request received as a I server state request. You have an I server state response called a get server state response, which is the server state response received. This is get play from server, which is a I play from server, and then it's a play from server received. That's good. Your hub is corrected. You can look at YouTube service, and this now is going to have a couple of things in here. It has a pause and a play service. So this is a get play from server response, which is a play from server response. And you want to pass in those. And with this, we first want to do a this dot stop, load and seek, and then play. Okay. In your room component, now, you have this player component. Let's look at this next. This houses the actual component that we're working on. So I can get rid of this has been loaded nonsense. And this one, which is get server state request, which is a request. We need to create the I server state response here. Which has in it a server state type which in our case, we'll get that in a second from my get player state. Oh, that doesn't matter. So this is an iPlay from server response. Like that. No, this is an iServer state response. Which needs to be extending this. So song queued equals song queued. Song equals song. Current time. Connection ID is the this is called response. This is request.connection ID. You have server state response here. You have song queued, song, current time, player state, connection ID. You need application user. And that comes from this.songQueued.applicationUser. And then you have a wait, which is this.songQueued.wait to value. And then you can send your response here to send server state. So this one, this is to return the state of the server to each client. And we're going to say that this is my server state request subscription. Which makes this one a server state response subscription. Get server state response here, which is called server response. And now we're going to assign the properties, which is song name requested by and play value, to my response.song, like that. I don't care about making this play because that happens internally. The other one that you have is a get play from server response, which is a play from a response here. And you're going to say this is your response.songQueued. And then you're going to set all the properties. And this is a play from server subscription. It's this dot unsubscribe. Okay. This assigns the video properties when the server responds. Okay? And this one is this sets the properties for a server ordered play. So we set this player, which is good. And then we have a on change here, and I don't care if this has been loaded or not anymore. Because if it's playing, when we connect, we are telling it to receive the room information, and then we're telling it to receive play, which is here. And so this is a iPlay server response. And we want this to be the song queued. The current time, the player state, the application user, the wait, like that. And then we have a request play from server, like that. Okay, do we have any other errors in here? Player component. I think I cleaned all this up. Okay, a couple of errors in here. The first one is on room hub service. One here. So you haven't done your room component yet. Let me look at my room hub service. It says get song next does not exist. But that's coming from room component. So if I look here, room has a room code, a room that it's assigned to, my search snippet, my current currency, a quantity. Hey there, Goose Poppy. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. You have any questions? You know what to do. Pop them into the chat. We'll make sure we get it answered for you. Okay, that's good. This is my room received. It assigns the room received. Good. This is my songs queued. When that happens, we'll just when we do the songs queued here, I want to clear it there. This is a play, right? So on your room, when you get your play, request play from server, which is called a get play from server response, and this is called a response. I don't want to do anything with that except for request my song queue for my room.id. That looks good. So this is no longer a song next, it's a play from server subscription. If your hub is connected, then we want to connect to the room service hub. And this.hub service.is auth. Don't you have on hub service something here called is authorized or something? Is connected. You're already doing that. Okay. So the next ones that it's erroring out are in hub service TS. It's got one error down here, which is okay, we've got, I'm gonna look at these real quick. Request application user information, update application user information, request rooms, save playlist, request currencies, save, request search, save song playlist, delete song playlist, request songs queued, request Pong, request song next, which needs to be called I thought you had like a DQ. So this is going to be a DQ next song, which is a DQ next song, passing in my room code. This is going to say receive server state, and it's going to say send server state as a iServer state request. Nope, that's a iServer state response. Because we thought there would be a request server state. So now, where is this failing? If I log in here, if I look at rooms, that's good. If I look at playlists, that's good. Currencies looks good. Everything looks fine. Let's log out and do it again. I've got some errors here on the back end to correct. So on this one, my play from server response, let me open up my interfaces again. Server state response, server state request, and an I play from server request. That looks right. So this is song.id. This is a song VM, needs to be a new song DTO. So can I do a mapper.map from a song VM to a song DTO here? And then if I look at my auto map, Yeah, we're good. Okay. Here, if this is my owner, then I want to send over this receive play to everybody. Or should it only be to the owner? I think it might be only to the owner, right? Because I want to only send this to my... In request room, we're getting each one of our currencies, and then here we're going to dequeue the song, and then this is going to be a receive play, which is going to get picked up over here as a receive play from server. Which in my player we assign it, and then in my YouTube service we load it, and send it to everybody. And then there's a piece of code in here, I think it's on player, which is if this thing gets set to playing, then we want to request play from server, which is going to send it to everybody else. So we only want to send this to my client, which is my context.connection ID. And we want to pass across the pipe there this new Hey there, Nom Eund. How are you doing? And then I want to invoke my request play from server, which needs this iPlay from server response, which is a new play from server response, which needs to pass in the application user equals my song next.application user. The current time is equal to my, and this is a requesting the room, so it actually needs to come from the zero is where we're going to put it at. Receive server you should have a receive server state or I think that this is a request server state. And then in this one, it's a new server state request, which needs to pass in my connection ID, like that. That's right. And this one, hey there, 88502C, how are you doing today? My player state here is going to be, I don't care, because I would be, now we're going to play that on the server because I'm requesting the room. because otherwise it's going to get the first song here when you request in your player component. DQ next song. So you've already received a song when you connect. No, you need to actually pass this across there. Hey there, Elemento. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Did you do anything identical to power line fault detection? What do you mean by that, Lemon Android? Like me personally? Are you asking if I've done work with that? This is songnext.song. Song queued is my song next. My wait is my song next dot weighted value. This is a mapper.map from a song queued DTO to that. My player state will be server state dot server state type dot hey Elemento. Thank you so much for that follow. If you have any questions what I'm working on, please don't hesitate to put them into the chat. We're going to say that the player state is currently stopped, and we'll cast that as an int. If I look at my auto map, good. Okay. We have the same thing on our connect, right? But when I'm in my room component, am I ever requesting my room or connecting to a hub? I have a received room subscription, and that happens good. And then, hey Lemon Android. Yeah, but why are you asking me if I've done that? That's where I'm confused. Like, what's the context of this about? Right, so that's when you receive the room. So then you can either play from the server or you can request the server state. So on your connected, right here, if it's an owner, then we want to do this. Application user room dot application user dot ID. server state has a song current. Didn't I get rid of this server state response? I did. It just has this as a play from server response with a string for the connection ID. Good. I don't care about that. I feel like this should already be filled in. So we'll just comment that out for now. And then this is my response. And then this is a receive server state of my response. We're only going to send it to that one ID. Which is incorrect. We actually want to send it to because when you get a receive a server state, that's the same thing as when you're passing the play. So a receive server state should be a request play from server. And this one is the request server state. And up here, I'm getting my server state request, which is just the connection ID. Which is being handled in here, server state request, where I'm filling that object and sending it back. Okay. The last error I have is this, which is in my DQ next song, which is a receive play is not what I'm calling it. It's called a request play from server. And we're going to send a play from server response, like that. I need to map my song DTO to a song DTO. There's no song ID. My song queued is my next song as a mapped and my application user needs to be, that looks good. Okay, we got to check all these to make sure that these are fine. Request server state. Hey Keith, how are you doing, man? It's been some time. This one, request play from server. Which gets invoked from player component. Request play from server. Good. Request pause looks good. Receive songs queued looks good. Send message is fine. Request play from server looks good. Request server state. Receive songs queued. Receive search snippet. Okay. And then in my auth, I'm firing request play from server or request server state. So it looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and run it. What am I breaking now? Nothing. I've been modifying a lot of my methods in my hub. Let's log out and log in again. Good. So it auto-loaded. That was fine. We need to start up this one. We need to log out and log in again. And it should start it at the same place. When we go into the correct room. Okay, I didn't see it invoke it. When we go into this room, I should connect to this hub. And then when that's done, we should get this unconnected. And I did. So I was going to add it to the group. Receive my room information. Then since I'm not the owner, I want to do my request my server state, passing in that. So in my player, I have my request server state, which should be here. So it never fired request server state. Server state request received. Request server state. Passing in an iServer state request, which only has an ID. So the reason why is because on connected in room hub, we need to do this for each var connection and channel owner connections. We need to do this. Like that. And then I'm imagining I need to do the same on my get room. Like that. Let's run it again. Yeah, we're gonna be all right. So let's log out, log in. It's going to do my connected here. We're both connected. Okay, good. We loaded it, and now this time when it requests the server state, That was requesting the server state back. Send server state, which should be sending to my receive server state. So in here, I should have a receive server state there. Let's make sure that that's working. Okay, it did. I got my response here, which has my no application user and no song in it. But it does have a song queued. So where I'm sending this information, when I look at my request play from server, that should already be loaded. Here. So when this thing is playing and we load the first video in my YouTube TS, here is where it's supposed to be doing the work. But in this, I think the problem is that we only have song queued, and I think song queued is a DTO. And that's the problem. So this needs to be a song queued VM. Like that. And then in my interface, my song queued doesn't have those two. And then in here, so that one goes away, that one goes away. My server state response only has a song queued. Like that. Queued. Same thing there. Player component.ts. I fixed all this. So we'll reopen it. Okay, it says song does not exist in my YouTube service.ts. Okay. Okay, that fixed it. And now on the back end, when I get this thing, it only has a song queued VM, so I don't really care so much about this because I know that this is my request.song queued. I don't care about that because I'm already getting it, and my song queued does not equal to null on my request.song queued. These go away because this next song is a VM, so it's already got everything I need on it. Same thing here. And here. And we can rebuild it. Give it another run. Okay, log in. Looks good. It's going to do my connected. It loads my site. We do a request play from server. If I look at this thing, it has a song queued, which has a room, a song, and an app user on it. That looks good. So now we can look at this one. And we want to log out and log in again. Line in. That's fine. We go to a different room. Log in. It's going to do a request play from server here. And it looks good. And it started at the right timing. If I skip ahead, it skips ahead too. If I pause it, it pauses it. If I go to the end of the video, one thing I would like to see is if I go here, jump it down, and then start playing it again. I was expecting this to fire a request, but that's okay. Because, see, I was expecting it to do a play from there. Hey there, Kixo. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to pop them into the chat. Yeah, so we could test that again there. We need to see when this thing ends. So we could just go to this page again. Should reload this video. And it did. Then we go to the next song. And we're dequeuing it. And then we're reading it. And it goes to the next one. And then we request play from the server. And that looked good. Now one problem was on my DQ, I'm not doing this to the entire group. I'm only sending this to my client of my context.connection ID. Now we should not get those multiple connections. Log out, log in. Oh, I'm in the wrong room. Good. Let's go back in this room again. Good. Let's go here to the end of the song. I don't love you, I don't need nobody else here. We DQ the next song, which requested it to play from the server. And if we go to the end of it again, looks good. So now if I put in here like Miley Party USA, and we search for this, and I put in 50 pixels and I added it. There it is. And if I go to the end of the video, wonderful. And it started right up. So I don't think my messages are working right now. So if I was to look at that in my app component, I should have a room component, which should have a chat. Which should be in my shared under chat. We need to hook up my messages to my private room hub room service called a room service. And it needs to be like this. So if I look at my room hub, I was expecting to have like a send message in here. If I look at this one, my room hub, I here have a send message. So we need to have my room hub service a it's going to be called a send message. Why is my tab no longer working? I forget how you do that in VS Code. If any of you guys remember, let me know. Okay, and then we want to do this as a message here, which is a iMessage chat message, which will be returning a void. And then if this.hub connection, then we want to do a this.hub connection dot invoke the send message, which is going to pass over the message. And then on receive message, which is an iChat message, all we do here is I should do my this.messages.push on my response. And we want to have in here a messages, which is an array of message, like that. Chat component says that this can't work. So your chat component is what has messages, but you're linking that to the room service. And so in this one, you want to do this as a string. Well, you want to do this as a let message is a iChat message, which is equal to. Is it worth it to learn TS? I think so. So does A Fallen Hope. If you do JS already, then yeah, totally. It really supercharges JS, but you'll really want to understand JS first. That was from Coding Panda 42. My application user room here is going to be this.roomService.application user room. My message is just message. So string message. This will be called payload, and then I want to send payload like that. So we'll log out, we'll log in. Go into the correct room. That was interesting. How is it doing that twice now? What did I change? Oh, I know what it was. It was back here. Well, first off, let me do this, and then we can always go backwards on it if we need to. I've been to JS for a long time, but always skip TS. Not a fan of MS and Google. Can't recommend it. MS has done some good stuff. I don't know. I like Microsoft. Let's run and reload this one and this one. Good. Go into the correct room. Good. Go to the end of the video. Good. Should go to the next video, and it does. We can skip ahead, and it should skip ahead, and it does. I pause it, it pauses. If I add in another thing in here called Hell's Bells, and we request it, I add this in as a 50. I'm looking at my song search result, and it doesn't have a length on it. So we would need to fix this. We need to make it so we can wager on songs in queue to update the order. We want to be able to add songs to the playlist from the main search. We need to remove add to default playlist and get player state. But we're in pretty good shape with this app. So let's see. So I've been online for quite a while today. I'm probably going to call that good for now. I might be back later today. I need to get some lunch. So if I was going to come back, it'll be in about 2.5 hours. So that would be at 2:30 to 3:30 to 4. It'll be at 4 o'clock. The next step that we need to do, since we now have things syncing across between the yay food, says a fallen hope. Now that we have the state synced between sessions, the next thing is that we need to add in the ability to see our currency as it ticks, and then be able to wager the currency, and then have to be able to upvote and downvote songs. And that completes most of the functions of this app, and then we are on to styling. So with any luck, we'll finish this up today and tomorrow, and then we'll have 1 day for styling, and that should be the end of this app. I was aiming for 14 days of development on this one, so it may be done before that, so we'll just have to see. Thanks so much, guys, for staying with me today. If you haven't, please join our Discord, discord.pixelhorsestudios.com. We're up to over 340 developers. It's a really great technical resource. Also, make sure you check us out at youtube.pixelhorsestudios.com. I do this, I put these videos up there as well. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you in just a couple of hours. Bye.